Hey!
All right, who remembers what happened last time?
Kami had a rough little go-round
Kami got a facial.
with flowers.
Kami got a facial.
And mayonnaise.
So much
Kami got a
mayonnaise.
facial. Kami got a facial, and not the good kind. And not the other good kind.
I was like, which one are you
Hard to
talking
say
about?
which good kind. There's a lot of good kinds.
We sent a monkey through a portal. I remember that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We
bad.
did.
We didn't.
And we had
The
no
worst
idea.
part is, I was thinking about it afterwards. We didn't have to.
No way.
We knew it wouldn't work.
It's upsetting.
And we did it anyway.
We did it
We got the
anyway.
We
So now we
lost
just-
You got the best of us.
It's gonna. The monkey
It's
will
fine.
be like Oberon's, or not Oberon, Oberius'
Oberius?
like right hand man.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
hope
It's gonna
so.
be some like Planet of the
Oh,
Apes shit,
yeah.
where like we're the end of the campaign, and like Caesar, the monkey, is gonna like roll through like this like army.
I'm here for it.
Not out of the question. Also, to everyone watching, we got hats!
There do be hats, though.
Do you want to plug our giveaway? You should plug the giveaway.
Yes. Okay, everyone, we have our first announcement.
Oh, God.
We're going to give away one of these hats if you subscribe to this Twitch channel at Homebrew Advantage. Or, thank you very much. Or if you follow us on Instagram, also at Homebrew Advantage. You can find both links on our Twitch channel. So if you follow us, or
If you Venmo me $20, yeah!
Plus shipping. Plus shipping.
Plus shipping and
Plus
tax.
shipping, plus shipping. But yeah, follow us, subscribe, and if you're at least on Instagram and help us get to 400 followers, we'll enter you into the raffle. Yes, thank you, Jake.
Do it for the gram.
Should I follow this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna enter the sweepstakes to get another hat.
enter right now. Everyone, enter. All right, back to you, Eric. That first
All right,
announcement's done.
yeah, so I think last time you guys had finished up fighting the were tigers who were ambushing you as you came out of the temple. Defeated a number of them. I think a couple of them seemed to disappear and escape into the woods, into the jungle. And then you all set about trying to figure out what your next moves were going to be. With May's new ability to teleport, you considered the option of trying to teleport to a teleportation circle, that Ardol had some familiarity with in the port city of Port Nyanzaru. But after a while, you all decided that maybe it wasn't the best idea. Too much could go wrong. And so I believe you all started to make your way northwest towards a range of mountains where Ardol knew there to be some dwarves that reside, who are generally somewhat hospitable, and at the very least not hostile to the likes of your party, which it seems so far most things here are somewhat hostile to you and your party. And so you guys started to make your way in that direction when I'm a bit of a run-in with what seemed to be some animated plants of some kind, some poisonous animated plants, carnivorous in nature. And in the middle of Ardol's nature lesson too, which was really, kind of rude.
Very disruptive.
But yeah, you fought your way out and threw some mayonnaise on the acid burns, apparently. As
This jungle gets a 1-star review on Yelp.
That's a good way to
Fantasy Yelp.
heal yourself is mayonnaise. Yeah, and I think we picked up. I don't know if you guys had taken a rest yet.
No.
Well, we had just taken a long rest, and then that was when we hit the trail.
During your day of travel. That's
Yeah.
correct. Okay.
Yeah, let's say because Kami's got a little bit of damage. So
It's
Yeah.
really
Plants
help.
were rough.
I'm missing a whole spell slot, so
Yeah, that was in the attempt to fight off, I believe, the plants. Yeah. So you guys, it is the sticky, hot, humid jungle of Cholt. And you've kind of just started your day, and Kami, you're already having a bit of a rough go. But yes, you managed to fend off the plants, and I'll give you guys a minute to collect yourselves if you want, whatever you want to handle before kind of pushing on into the travel.
Why did you pick a fight with this plant here?
What happened?
you think I chose this, Zaire?
I don't know. I'm listening to this man blabber on, and suddenly you're caught up in.
First of all, blabber? I don't know. I think Ardol is giving us a lot of important information about the jungle. Obviously, if Kami had been listening to Ardol, then maybe the plant wouldn't have attacked him.
Okay, first of all, Maeve, I don't appreciate the victim blaming. Second of all, this jungle has eyes. It's watching us. I was minding my own business, walking behind you all. And these flowers have a mind of their own, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They came after me. I'm marked. I'm marked in this jungle.
Look at what you're wearing.
I'm sorry if I'm
You were
stating
asking
the
for it.
obvious, but there's some dangerous flora out here, and we should be careful of it. Yeah.
I mean, you were kind of talking
Thanks,
crap about the
Professor.
jungle.
Listen, world.
I'm listening.
Not all of us come from the Feywild where everything is fucking crazy and the plants and the trees are out to do, they have, their own crazy little way of living and being. Some of us live in a normal place where the plants are just plants and they look pretty. They don't try to kill you.
I mean, it seems like you understand it pretty well, though. They have their own way of living and being. You got it perfectly right the first time.
And not all the plants here are trying to kill you.
Just most of them.
Listen,
Fair point. Fair point.
If
Hashtag
I
not all
don't-
plants.
if I don't set fire to this whole jungle before we're gone,
Oh.
it is a personal victory for me.
Hashtag not all plants.
They've tried that a few times, but yeah, it really doesn't. It just grows right back is the problem.
And as you said, Kami, Whirl and I were from the Feywild. We know how to handle situations like this. So
Yes,
just
maybe you
And
should.
where
follow
were
what we
you?
need.
And where were you when I was getting the living shit beat out of me by a little yellow flower?
Do
You
we all
know.
need to hold hands in a line
Yes,
together
we can-
and
we
walk
can-
down the
great
jungle
idea,
path?
Zaire.
No,
And
I
we can
mean,
put you in the
station.
middle. No,
I'll hold your
you
hand.
come in the middle. Yeah, come in the middle of the group. You were in the back of the line. That's the number one mistake.
No,
Is that we
I don't need to be protected. I am the protector. Do you understand? I don't need to be.
Mhm.
I'm not. Don't put me in the middle of the caravan trying to save me from attack. Can we just keep
Sorry,
going,
but
please?
we're not the ones dripping in mayonnaise.
I'm gonna walk up next to Zaire and just gently grab his feather and try to hold it.
And I'm holding Whirl's hand, and then I'm also, I guess, Ziggy, are you in front of me?
I am definitely getting in on the middle of this cuddle puddle.
Okay.
I'm only participating in this if Kami does
I'm
it.
holding a hand out towards Kami, and
Okay.
I'm doing like the uppies
Okay.
hand.
With his lizard face.
Okay. Listen. Hey, Doc. Get us to meet these little mountain people who can get us home. It is the only thing that will save me from committing violent acts right here, right now.
Well, you save that energy because, as you see, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming at us. So you just swing out at the next violent thing that comes at you. Hopefully, not another plant. And yes, stay close. Hold hands if you want. That's a little It's fine. All right, let's go.
Can we skip too?
You just watch your foot,
No.
but yes.
I'm not skipping. That's where I draw the line.
Not even
So
with your cute new
Ardol-
fluffy feathers.
Stop it.
Ah, you look like a
Ardol with-
chicken. You're so fluffy.
What the-
Very
what did you
little
just call me?
sense of caution. You just see Ardol just kind of like very like slowly but surely continue walking in the jungle with his cane at his side and like just continues to kind of like speak into the air about the various plants and things that you see. As if nothing had just happened.
Do.
This reminds me of home. Right, girl?
It
Connie, do you need some healing?
quite like the
Do you
Fae.
need some healing?
I feel great.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes, some could say I feel like a spring chicken.
Got him. Get it? Because you look like a chicken right now, bro?
You're
As,
Ooh,
you're-
as
you're-
opposed
you're
to a
lucky
chicken
that
in one
you're
other
wounded.
season.
you're lucky you're wounded. Otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be a fair fight for you. So I'll leave that.
boys.
And he would-
You say
he would
feathers.
He would be so slippery. You wouldn't be able to get a good grab on him because of all the mayonnaise that he has all over himself.
Maeve, whose side are you on?
Mine.
She's on the side of truth, bro.
Here, Kami, here, just take this, and I pull out like a extra piece of cloth, and I hand it over to you, Kami. Just this will help you so that you can see your surroundings again.
I take the cloth and I throw it on the ground, and I take the alchemy jug and I find the water one and I just pour it.
Wait, as a
all over myself.
reaction, I'm gonna cast Destroy Water.
Our use of spells is on point.
So you feel it sloshing around in the jug, and as you go to pour it, it just seems to disappear as it comes out of the jug.
I thought you
It
didn't need
doesn't
help.
normally do that.
Doc, your stupid bowl is broken.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure it's the jug. I don't want to get in the middle of this, but I don't think it's the ancient jug's fault.
Oh, you're smack dab in the middle of it now, Doc.
Yes. it
Okay,
does.
okay. Sorry, Doc. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no. Nope. You just try it again. Maybe it'll work a second. Sometimes you put the cork in and cork it back out. Turn it off and back on again and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want to step in between these two.
Let me check something real quick.
No.
Who did this?
Does it only
did
work
this?
once a day? I think we used it on the mayo. We used it on
Oh,
the
so I didn't
mayo.
have to.
Great. Perfect.
Not the mayo.
Yeah, nothing happens when you go try and do it again.
No.
I take the jug. Kami takes the jug, very gently puts it on the ground, reaches, takes the cloth that Maeve had given him, wipes his face, gingerly hands the cloth back to Maeve, and just starts walking.
Also worth noting, you did just destroy your day's supply of water. And you're in a jungle environment that is hot, humid, difficult to traverse.
It's okay. I can cast Create Water. So we're
Okay. All right. And is that a leveled spell? I don't remember.
Oh, 100%. I used it. I used a level spell on this. I used the spell slot to do this.
Oh, you bet your ass.
Good thing
Sometimes
I
it'll
already
slap it a
have.
bit.
I mean,
I
Yeah,
have
you
a
did.
water
yeah.
skin. I have a water skin in my bag that already has 4 pints of water in it. So
4 pints.
4 pints.
Sorry.
I mean, did we learn that it's sometimes okay to ask and take help from your friends?
He's gone. He walked away.
I walked
I
away.
said that as
And then Kami just over his shoulder just goes, "You're not my friend."
Maeve is gonna like see this happen and turn to Loon and be like, "Okay, buddy, looks like there are a few people who could use some hugs in this group right now."
Don't you dare. Don't you
And I'm
dare.
just gonna be like, come on out just in case. And so I'm gonna have him like crawl out so he's like actively
Hugs.
seen on my shoulder.
You wouldn't dare.
I'm just gonna walk. Not get any closer.
All right. Well, as the party begins to trek once more, let me get a perception check from two of you.
I got
Whoever
it.
wants to keep watch during this walk.
I got
I
it.
can.
Me.
I can roll.
I'll go for it. Oh,
25.
25 and
Mine was a 16.
okay. All right. Yes, you guys are cutting your way through the jungle, physically, mentally, you know. And as you travel more, it is getting difficult. It is hot. There are insects buzzing, biting. You feel these little nips and bites as you're going through, and you find yourself kind of smacking your arms and yeah, buzzing in your ear. It starts to take a toll on you as you're walking through
I have
this jungle.
scales, so I'm fine.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
Oh.
Yeah, good for you.
And
Yeah.
Kami, you already didn't like the jungle. It's not making impressions on you that are increasing you're improving your view of it. I mean, but Ziggy, as you're walking through, it's not so much a path that you're on, but it's maybe more traveled than some of the areas that you've been around that Ardol's familiar with, at least. And you notice kind of a little ways off the kind of path that you've been cutting for yourselves. You see, among kind of the vibrant green, you see like a tannish brown among the undergrowth here in the jungle. And yeah, it just kind of sticks out as being a little bit different from what's around you and what you've been seeing since you've been walking around.
Guys, I can see the ground.
Careful.
What do you mean?
Like, it's been like really bushy and stuff, and we're just kind of like chopping stuff. I see the ground now. It's like pathy.
Well,
As he
careful.
points out, and you guys kind of look in that direction, you notice it doesn't actually look like the ground. It looks to be, as you look kind of closer at it, it looks to be like some sort of like cloak or cloth that's kind of like sticking out from the undergrowth.
Never mind. It's not the ground.
It's not a trap, is it?
Yeah.
Like one of those traps?
I throw a rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I pick. Wait, there's
I'm
probably
gonna-
not a rock. I pick up a stick and I throw a stick at the cloth.
Great.
Make
I was going to.
make an attack roll for me.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna ritually cast detect magic around this thing.
10.
Yeah, no, you hit it. The stick kind of just like hits the ground, just kind of like bounces off and just kind of like rolls off of whatever this is. And Jess, you don't detect any magic.
Okay.
I think it's just probably someone's cloak got stuck when they were running away from something terrifying.
Like flowers.
Or
or the
commitment.
undead.
Or
Oh.
undead flowers.
The undead.
That got intense really quickly. Do we need to pick it up and check it out?
Tommy,
do
do you
it.
want to pick it up? Okay, roll.
Big,
Yes,
strong
because I'm
protector.
brave. I'm brave
looks like
and
we're
I'm
all
not
going.
scared.
No, I'm already there.
Oh, if she wants to, I don't want to impose.
Well, as you get closer to it and you kind of go down and lift the cloak, you lift it up and you see the body beneath it. It looks to be the body of probably a half-elf. And it looks just severely bludgeoned, and somehow it's taken some significant damage from something. Make a survival check for me.
Great. Perfect.
Or investigation.
11. Oh. 12.
Yeah, you can't tell too much about what may have caused it, but it's in a weird spot, just in the middle of the jungle here, and just something has taken significant damage. This being, it's super dead.
I'm just gonna drop the cloth back over it and say, "Well, you guys, this isn't anything I haven't seen before. But there is a dead half elf right underneath of that, and it doesn't look like it was good. I don't think we should hang around here much longer."
Doc, what could have killed the half elf out here?
It's very dead, so I couldn't.
What
could have been
couldn't
anything.
have? Were-tigers, dinosaurs, plants.
Better
more-
question.
more- Odds are again probably the undead. But that's the most likely cause.
Well,
but-
why would the undead hide the body?
Is it hidden,
Oh,
or
it-
is it just where you just like that's where he died?
There's a cloth over
it
the
seems like they
body.
were just wearing, like from the angle that you guys were, it just looked like
Oh, got
they were
it.
covering them, like they were just wearing it
Never mind.
when they died.
It's probably on
Yeah.
the run from one of the hordes.
One of the
One of the
hordes.
hordes.
Hordes of undead?
All over the
Hordes.
island, a plague of it. Yes.
What's causing them? What's controlling them?
We're not quite sure. There's always been undead throughout Schultz, but it seems recently, within the past few months or so, that well, the undead presence has grown to nigh uncontrollable rates. There are parts of this jungle you cannot walk in by foot. There are so many of them.
And yet you choose to make this place your home.
Well, I was born here, yes, and I always liked it, and the Archaeological Society has mapped out relatively safer routes that are no more dangerous than they were before these infestations started. And yes.
And
Yes.
Ardol, you would also know that the route you're taking,
If you mean.
part of the reason you're taking them here, is relatively clear. Though if you had gone further south, it would have been heavily infested.
I once watched an undead T-Rex vomit out a horde of zombies. It was a nightmare. Yeah, no, this place is insane if you go too far left, too far right, too far up, down. No, you must stick to the paths, and lucky you're with me, because I know where those paths are.
Wow.
If these dwarves don't get us home, I'm unaliving myself right here in this jungle.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to see a zombie T-Rex vomit other zombies. That sounds kind of dope.
Cool. Yeah.
Where was that?
Entertainment.
Could we go there, bro?
No.
We don't have time for that, dear Ziggy.
Mm-mm.
You're welcome to. You just have to leave my company to do so. And basically just walk
And
in any
mine.
direction, you'll hit something like that, or equally magnificent and horrifying. But if you don't want to, you should probably, yes, we'll find the dwarves.
Are we having
I'd
fun
like
yet?
to.
I am.
Well, I'm glad one of us.
There's
I'm
been
gonna walk
no
over-
theories of why the undead attacks have increased in recent months.
Our societies are looking into it, and at least from my own job's perspective, there's been way more digs into ruins that have been unexplored, seeing if there's someone or something that's using dark magic in one of these places. But there's been nothing conclusive.
Oh, yes.
Sounds like
Varian.
Tiberius might have some. What?
Oh, I was just going to say, isn't this supposed to be your whole bread and butter, right? Like the
Yes,
undead?
that is why I am asking the doctor here some probing questions. Are you glad you finally have caught on?
That's an angry chicken.
There's so much tension.
Anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted,
Angry
it
birds.
seems
As
like
I was saying,
Angry
our society is
birds.
looking into it. You might, if we get back to our city, dwarves take us back via the portals. you can inquire with them and see if they have any intel as to.
Yes, it
what's
just
gone.
seems that the few months of attacks and undead sightings in your plane might correspond with the quite wild few months that we've had on our plane.
Oh,
And some rather malicious figures behind it all. But yes, we will inquire further, I see.
all the more reason to find these dwarves. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Far
I'm
away
gonna walk
out?
over and inspect the body. I want to see if there's anything, any like items or weapons or anything on this half elf.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Oh, that's a 2. For a for a 10. No, for 11. It's not bad.
It's pretty good still. It
Yeah.
explodes. No. Yeah, so as you're kind of looking around, you kind of looking at it, you don't get any better ideas as to what may have happened here, but you do notice a little ways away, there's this looks like a box that's kind of shattered, a wooden box that is shattered and kind of spilled its contents. And there's a couple of what look like broken vials, as well as a few that remain, they look to be intact. And it looks to be this sort of pinkish, translucent liquid inside some of these vials that are corked closed, as well as one pack that seems like it was maybe in the box that had fallen out when it broke. And it has like bandages and things. It looks to be a healer's kit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take the healer's kit and look over and be like, "Hey, has anyone ever seen a vial like this? Ardol, does this look familiar to you at all?"
Does it?
Make survival, maybe?
Medicine?
Survival or medicine? Yeah.
Mm.
Does it look familiar to any of us?
That's a crit success.
Yeah, you do recognize these. It would look to be 4 vials of antitoxin.
Oh.
Very useful, and if anyone gets poisoned,
By plants?
is likely. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so
I'll take all
if
of
you
them.
drink the vial, you gain advantage on saving throws against poison for 1 hour.
How many do we
Tommy,
get?
you want one of these?
Yeah, I think I'll take one.
I think we should each take one.
I'm good.
There are 4. You found 4.
Oh, okay, definitely Kami take one.
I'm good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll keep one. And then who wants the other 2?
I can deal with poison on my own, so I'm good.
I was gonna say,
Eric, can you name it?
Feeling.
What was it called again?
It's antitoxin.
Antitoxin, yeah.
Antitoxin, great. Add it. I'm adding 1 to my...
Olivia Rodrigo's new song.
Is it?
No, but it's right.
Oh, don't get me all excited.
Sounds like one.
I believed it.
Me too. Wow, Ziggy. It's almost like
How many do we have left? Who all has one?
I have one and Kami has one, and we have 2 others.
Sure.
I would take one.
I don't have any
Okay.
cool magic stuff.
All right. I pass one to each of you.
Damn,
Thanks.
it's brutal out here.
Ta-da.
Well, this has all been really exciting. I think let's move as fast as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is it possible for us to dash, or is it's difficult terrain, so we can't?
Playing Baldur's Gate. We're just dash the whole time.
How do you dash?
Dashing just increases your speed in combat. So you're taking instead of taking like an action, you're just moving more.
Yeah.
May's just gonna sprint and pass out from dehydration.
You can try to push yourselves and move a little bit quicker through the terrain if you want.
Nah. Gotta slow and steady, otherwise we're gonna pass out.
Yep.
There. Okay.
So we'll say you guys continue to walk for the day following Ardol. And I'm going to say who currently has access to clean water?
Me.
I would have to cast a spell.
I could definitely. Can I make a wisdom? Like, can I make a survival roll to be able to like tap a vine for water? Because that's totally
To find
something
you just
can
in
do.
general find water out
Yeah.
here. Yeah, you can make a survival check for me. Because I'm going to say if you don't have access to water, I was going to say make a survival check to see if you can find some.
I'm willing to share some of my water. I have 4
Oh
pints.
yeah, that's gonna be fine. My survival's +9, so that's a 23.
Okay. Yeah, you find some. You kind of, as you're walking, you're collecting kind of drippings and things that are coming off of leaves. You find, like you said, vines that kind of seem to hold on to some water and manage to kind of wring them out a bit. Yeah. So then, Zay, are you casting create water?
Yeah, I also have a water skin. I doubt it's full. I'm looking how much water create or destroy. So it can up to 10 gallons. So I can just cast it and fill. If people have water skins in their inventory of like just in their like packs, I can fill everybody's water.
What happens if you pour it in the jug?
Do you want me to try?
Into the alchemy jug?
Yeah.
We have our water skins. Why would we do that?
Well, I mean, the 10 gallons we're not gonna carry in our water skins.
I don't know as if it could physically hold that. It magically makes liquid and comes out, but it's still like a regular sized containment vest. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't do smart things. I was just asking a question.
I mean, would you like to try, Ziggy? I don't want to.
I pour water in the alchemy jug.
Shoot down your idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's just a jug at that point. It just holds the water.
Great.
Yeah, I'll cast create water and fill up everybody who has a water skin with as much as it carries.
Okay.
4 pints.
All right. I'm gonna say you guys travel for most of the day, and water was not an issue, though it could have been, considering you destroyed all the water at the beginning of the day.
But then I created it, so no.
The
Alpha and Omega.
darkness of the jungle seems to kind of turn to more of the nighttime darkness. It's always a little bit darker under the canopy, and you can tell now the sun is no longer kind of overhead. It's getting cooler a little bit, and it's about the time where you'd probably want to be finding a place to camp for the night.
What do you think, Doc? Any good place we should look for?
Well, again, I've got my my sanctum that I can set up. So anywhere that's flat and seems comfortable for us, I'll obscure everyone's sight and sound from the outside so that it's hard to find us wherever we end up going.
What about there? And I point to flying green pasture again.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Actually, perfect.
Yeah, easy enough to find a place to set up. Especially, I forgot you had the arcane kind of sanctum thing. Yeah. So you guys find a place, kind of set up camp for the evening. Anything you guys want to deal with before proceeding to the next day? Anybody want a romance?
I want to. Yes, but I want to go outside of the sanctum and try and do the same thing I did last time. Try and connect with the feelings, the vibes of the universe, and
Yeah. Give me a vibes check.
vibes check.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the best. 8 on the die. What am I?
What do you think? What do you think your vibes check would be for this?
Insight for sure.
Sure. Go ahead.
Vibes check. 13.
Okay.
4 on the die.
You sit and meditate for a while. You feel a similar kind of feeling, almost as if like an anchor, or like a pressure, kind of holding you or pushing you down.
Can I
here.
focus on the on what it's coming from at all, or does it just feel oppressive?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be, at least at the moment. You can't tell if it's coming from anywhere. It just seems to kind of. It's like the humidity in the air around you, right? It's just this kind of present force, this present phenomenon that's kind of holding you down. Some have called it the man, and the man is holding you down.
That's what I was thinking, man.
But yeah, so you hear some disturbing noises out there in the forest as you're meditating. Sounds like screams or animal screams or roars, and some heavy footsteps in the distance now and then. This is a disconcerting place.
It's wild. I go back and
Daire's gonna want to pray to Viet again, like he did last night.
Okay.
Just to kind of call for there being a plea and have been, Oberius and Mortar causing kind of an imbalance. So he's gonna also step outside of the sanctum, and then kneel down. And since he doesn't have any more organic offerings into the ground, he's gonna pluck a feather, one of the feathers that's like poofed up on him, and then bury it into the ground, making a prayer again, and burning a little bit of the incense that he has.
Okay. Give me a religion check with advantage.
That's a 21.
Okay. You're out there for a while. Ziggy was out there at one point, kind of with you. Eventually, he went back inside, and you kind of stayed out there. You find this place to be less disturbing than some of the others, maybe. The noises and the scents, which have never really bothered you much. You find it to be less of kind of off-putting than maybe some of the others do. And so as you sit out there for a bit longer and kind of focus on the prayer that you're making, you, with your eyes closed, you kind of see, kind of when you close your eyes, you kind of see the like swirls kind of behind your eyes a little bit. It kind of looks like that, and you kind of open them a little bit, and you see this sort of greenish haze kind of like come into the circle of light that you have around your camp, or whatever light source you might have out there. And you see this kind of like greenish haze roll across, and you don't really hear it. You kind of experience it, but it kind of feels like a voice. It's this very kind of dark, rumbling voice that kind of almost resonates through you rather than hits your ears. And you hear it just kind of say, "You are new to me. Who is it you pray to?"
Not speaking it, I guess. So like I felt the voice, right? Mm-hmm. So in my brain, I think Viet, the goddess of life.
And there's kind of a moment, and you almost feel like a breath in the moment, and this experience again, kind of says within you, I do not know them. Where do you come from?
Yeah. In my brain, then I'm gonna envision. I'm not even gonna answer. I'm gonna envision the tops of the Crown Peaks Mountains, the plains of traveling over Sordoom, like the bustling streets of Galita, and kind of just the memories of my life.
And you hear again, you brought much with you, but I'm afraid your God is not one of them. While you are here, tell them Kelimvor watches over you.
My initial thought is, who is Kelimvor? Like,
And
who are
again,
you?
in a similar kind of where you kind of showed them the images from your life. You see images of clerics, paladins, various races, all bearing the same symbol. And you see them fighting, slaying the undead, using necromancy in ways that are intended to destroy the dead and keep them dead, and kind of preserve that line that exists between life and death and ultimately undeath.
Okay. He's gonna be like, I think, just like kind of shaking, sitting, like getting all of that information. And then with it, like a little bit of a pause, and he starts to get afraid that maybe like he's missed his chance. He goes, "Can you help us?"
There's again, sort of another breath kind of in this pseudo conversation that you're having. And you hear, what do you need?
Home. We need to get home.
That is beyond what I can provide. But until you find that, I will continue to watch over and provide what I can.
For that, I am most grateful.
And you kind of see the haze, kind of the way it came in, it kind of continues to blow through the camp and kind of disappears into the darkness of the jungle, and kind of the rest of the sounds and the feelings of the jungle return. You kind of left you alone again.
So you're just gonna sit for a moment still, kind of let the incense burn, and just take in the. I think the first night he was, really just kind of calling on Viet to save them, and I think for the most, like, kind of settle that he might be here for longer than expected, and then I think for the first time, like, truly notice the amount of life in the jungle around him. From the noises to the buzzing of the bugs around him, the way that like every plant kind of moves, and it's an environment so foreign, especially coming from a mountain like the mountaintops where it's a little more barren, and he just feels overwhelmed by the sense of life. And he can't stand up yet, and so he stays sitting for a moment until the incense burns, and then gets up to go back into the camp.
As soon as he gets in camp, Kami rips the like loudest snore.
He just like looks and like shakes his head. I imagine everybody's probably asleep by this point, so he's gonna lay down to go to try to get some sleep.
Okay. I'll say you guys can add in a long rest. I know not much has happened, but I know there's at least one spell slot for Ardol.
And some of us need to recoup some damage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a long rest. I'm gonna grab some water really quick. What's up?
Okay. No, before we take the long rest, I think while Zaire was making that prayer, Maeve is going to try something.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sending to my dad
Okay.
in the Feywild.
I gotta double check.
It says that there is a 5% chance it won't make it if it's moving between the planes.
Look at you reading your spells.
He's learning.
Okay.
I'm learning.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead and send your
Who's
message.
counting?
Oh, okay.
I'm doing it. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Hey, Dad. Hope you're okay. I need your help. Oberius sent us to another plane.
You're great.
Could you help us get home?
Yeah, 4 more left.
We're in Forgotten Realms.
I'll say
Ardol
the
told us
actual
that.
name of this one is Faerun is the name of this one.
Okay, we're in Faerun.
We're in this crazy place called Hasbro. Like, how do we get out?
Yeah, in the jungles of Chol.
Roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
Now, is he picking 95 or is he picking 5 or some random 5?
Oh shit.
Oh man. Oh boy. That's could be bad. 97.
That's not good.
Shut up.
No.
Yes.
You couldn't roll like a solid 34, you know?
No. I had to roll a 97.
You don't know if it gets to him or not, but I will say there is no response at the moment.
Okay, great. I'll try again tomorrow.
Oof.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so everybody go and take a long rest. I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to grab some water. I'll return.
What are the odds, Jess? Oh my god.
I know.
Brutal.
Damn, it's brittle out there.
I think this is going into dice jail.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have a dice jail. So I don't
You're gonna have to
know.
get one. Just
I was
for-
about to tell you get one.
Yeah, should I just chuck this out my window and just be like, screw you?
Probably.
No, it's a weapon. I can't do that. I might actually hurt something or someone. I had some Kabosi luck there.
Truth.
Toad is currently scared of something, and we don't know why.
It's a ghost.
Oh.
It must be a ghost. Maybe it's not
Terrifying.
an. No.
Oh no.
Yeah, you want to take her up and then close the door behind you?
Always trust
Yeah,
your dog.
she's not. There's an ice skating rink behind our house, and so she doesn't like the sound of the puck hitting the boards. Sounds like scary, like, I don't know. Yeah, and it's been like active since the weather's been a little bit warmer, and they like have been cleaning it and stuff. So I think she must have just right before we started playing heard some people playing hockey and doesn't like it. Not a fan, I guess.
Scary stuff.
Doesn't
Scary
like
stuff.
sport.
Fucking love hockey.
Yeah, I'm like dying to get this hip healed so I can go out on that rink.
It's so
Mm-hmm.
fun. I love it. All right. during the long rest, just gonna need a
Oh.
Constitution saving throw from Kami, Zaire, Whirl when she gets back, in May.
Me and
Oh.
Ardol straight chilling.
Reptile life.
Mine's a 14.
Mine's an 8.
Trying to
Okay.
make an R with my hands and I can't.
Oh. Mine's a 6.
Hard. Oh, I can't do it.
I know.
Yikes.
Good girl.
We're just like
Yikes.
There we go.
Oh, good girl, Coda.
I need to exam.
R is a hard one.
What a sweetheart.
I have too many points.
She is a sweetheart.
She sure
She's
is.
looking skinny these days.
Yeah, she's been outside running around.
It's okay.
Whirl, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
I don't
During
want
your
to.
during your long rest.
I don't.
I feel that.
I agree. We
But I
really
will.
disagree with this.
Oh, baby, 21.
All right.
Ooh.
No, you're okay.
So you guys wake up, and Zaire and May, each separately, the jungle is waking up, and it's still got that humidity to it, and the heat of the day is starting to rise. But even as you wake up, that kind of humidity in the air almost settles on you, and the dampness, you feel cold a little bit. You kind of get a little bit of shivers waking up, and yeah, it feels colder for some reason.
Someone got malaria.
And
Oh, God.
yeah, it's just you wake up and you're feeling a little bit colder than the day before as you're walking through, even though you know it's hot.
Okay.
All of them? Wait,
Okay.
who failed?
Just Zaire and May.
God, it's so freaking hot out here, guys.
Are we still at camp though?
Yep.
So Zaire's gonna kind of, as people are like packing up to get getting ready for the day, he's gonna go over to Ardol and he's gonna say, Doctor, do you know the name Kellenvor?
Oh yes, the god of the balance between life and death. That wasn't clear.
So last night I went outside to make some prayers, and he spoke to me.
Oh,
Oh,
not everyone has a conversation with a god.
Yeah, well, I wish this was my first one. So he, I was making a prayer to our God of light and life in Sesordu, but he answered and said that he is watching us
Mm.
and that he will try to help. I don't know. I had visions of his paladins and people bearing this scale symbol that fighting the undead. Is all of this familiar?
Oh yes. The symbol you're talking about is Kellenvor's symbol, is the scale, because of the balance again between life and death. And yes, paladins and clerics all across Faerun fighting in his honor and keeping those that should be undead at bay. I do believe there are some, I'm sure, working out of the port cities now. If they're not, I'm sure they're on their way. What with the infestations that have been coming. But no, Kellenvor and everything you saw sounds legitimate. It seems that if I were to make a hypothesis that your goddess cannot connect with you on this plane, and normally I'm assuming your magic is gifts from her, but she cannot provide those gifts for you while you're here. So seems Kellenvor might have taken up the mantle on that. That water you so graciously destroyed and then created yesterday might have been Kellenvor's aid and not the goddess you're familiar with.
Okay, will there be any of his followers at where we are going?
It's quite possible. I haven't seen any myself, but again, with the rate that the undead dead have been growing, I would not be surprised to learn that a conclave shows up in one of the cities we might go to.
Interesting. Back in Cessor Doom, I'm a member of the Order of the Long Death, and it is a similar aim, the balance of life and death, and it's fascinating that we are on another plane, and yet people align themselves to common causes, I guess.
The universe isn't as complicated sometimes as you might think. Of course,
Maybe that
sometimes it's more complicated, but
that might give us some solace in this current predicament. Then we might be able to find more allies than just you, although you are doing fantastic.
I hope that for you as well, my boy, and I think you just might.
So I'm just gonna walk away.
All right, cool.
Life
All
gone
right.
life,
Down.
death gone death.
He got us that your compliment. Those aren't,
Those are hard to get.
they're hard to come by.
It's true.
I cried.
So you once again pack up camp and begin your day's journey further into the jungle, or out of the jungle, really, is the goal. And who wants to keep an eye out during today's travel?
I'll keep an eye out. Also, every now and then, I can't keep it up continuously, but every now and then I'll ritualistically cast Detect Poison and Disease, which will just let me know within 30 feet if there's any poisonous creature, or disease, near us. I can't keep it up, while we're walking the entire time, but, every now and then I'll just cast it just to see if there's anything terrible right around us.
Okay.
All right. Maeve is she's feeling a little cold. She's feeling a little tired of this jungle. So she's going to try to send that message to her dad again and make it sound a little bit more urgent.
Okay.
Repeating what she can remember, what she said word for word.
All right. Roll me a D100, and then Ziggy. I'll say you do detect disease amongst two of your party members.
What? Yeah, you guys feeling okay?
I feel great.
I'm a bit older than yesterday. Is it? Maybe I'm getting used to the jungle and the suffocating humidity, but I got a little bit, a little chilly.
I think you need
Yeah,
a hug.
I don't even need to. Oh!
And I'm gonna give him a hug, and I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on him.
Okay.
Do I feel better?
You do. The coldness kind of lifts a bit.
Why is your hug so warm? Oh, what are you?
I'm a good
Oh
hugger. I've been
gosh,
told I'm a really good hugger. May, do you want one
you're
too?
clammy. You're sweaty.
I've been feeling a little tired, yes. I think I do.
Come here.
And Loon too.
Oh, hug slug.
Hug for the hug slug.
Oh, also what's funny is
Yeah.
every time I cast it, I would notice Loon because he's a poisonous creature.
Oh yeah, technically, yeah. But that's you wouldn't be surprised by that.
I know, but I'm just like, I see you, Loon.
Just happy to feel Loon's vibe.
Yeah.
So you're casting it on Zaire and May, but not Loon.
No, I'm not gonna lesser. Can't cure
You
what
know,
he
he's
is.
perfect just the way he is.
He's perfect.
Can't cure.
Not gonna
who he
cure
is.
his
Yeah.
fruit.
All right. What was your D100 roll, Jess?
A 46.
Solidly average.
Yes.
Just what you want. Just what you want.
Yes, exactly. Right? Why is Eric laughing?
There's a brief pause after you send it. And you continue walking, unsure if it worked again. Until you hear your father's voice again a few minutes later at this point, probably.
Okay.
He says, I have some familiarity with Faerun. Where are you?
I think this is worth it for me.
And what resources do you have available? Is basically that's kind of the end of it.
Okay. I think it's worth it for me to use another spell slot. So, here we go. Great news. We're in the jungles of Cholth. Heading to the name of the mountain.
I just want to laugh that Jess decided to use great news as two of her words, or like vital words. Great news. Oh, whoops, there two.
You're headed towards the Mistcliff Mountains.
Okay. Where were we, Theo? Copy.
It was headed to, and then you started 10 words.
Okay.
So
The Mistcliff Mountains. Not a lot of resources.
Death imminent.
Help.
what did you say? You still have 6 words left.
We only have an alchemy jug.
Yes.
Another couple minutes goes past. Actually, make another D100 roll first.
40.
Okay. Another few minutes goes by. He says, you hear, that is not great news. The jungles can be exceptionally dangerous. Find your way out. Look for interplanar travel. I will do what I can.
I'm using my last message. Dad, we already are looking for that. Obviously.
God.
But we do have a guide. Who knows the right paths to travel.
5 more.
I like turtles.
Hell yeah, brother.
We await your help. We await your help. Thanks.
Yeah, brother.
Roll another D100 for me.
Okay. 81.
Okay. Another few minutes goes by again. And I'm assuming this is kind of as you guys are walking. You're continuing to do
As
this.
we're walking, yeah.
You continue to
Yeah.
walk. A few minutes goes by again. And his voice comes back and it says, That's good. Listen to them. Get safe. I will do my best to find answers on my end. I will try to reach out soon. That's it.
Okay. I relay that to the group. All right. Well, my dad knows of our predicament. And while he stated the obvious, that we need to find a way for interplanar travel, I do think that he has more resources than we do, and he'll be able to help, but it's going to take him some time. He said to get out of the jungle. Again, obvious, but such a dad thing to say. Ugh.
Well, I think we should listen to him. I think that's great advice.
I think it is good advice, but obvious, but great. You're right. He's just being a dad. He wants us out of the jungle, and he wants us to stay safe.
He just cares.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a nice father.
He is. He's a very. Yeah, I think he will be able to help. He knows a thing or two about interplanar travel.
Oh, bully for you. Yes, I don't. I'm glad he does. Hope he helps.
So as you guys are walking and Maze is going through this, and Kami, you try and stick by her just because you know she can get distracted when she's attempting to do these kind of things.
Yes.
And so you're paying attention to her when you brush by a vine, and as you keep walking, you feel your kind of arm kind of get pulled back, and you look as this vine is just constricting and wrapping around the arm that kind of brushed by it. Make a strength saving throw for me.
Fine. My strength is really big. I'm really strong. If I roll a 1, I'm gonna
I'm
actually
gonna say nat one right here.
commit crime. A real crime. Okay. 21.
Hey.
So you kind of feel it first, and like May keeps walking, like kind of focusing on what she's sending, and you kind of like get pulled back for a minute, and then you manage to kind of like wrestle your arm out, and as you do, the vines and undergrowth that you're walking on all of a sudden just explode up from the ground, and just again try and like grab you and pull you down to the ground now. Give me another strength save on that one.
Oh no!
Okay, that is 22 this time.
Okay, so this time it does kind of like pull you down. You kind of go down to a knee for a minute, and then you basically just a combination of sheer force of will and kind of just like taking out or like maneuvering the glaive that you've been carrying with you. You manage to just like cut and wrench your way free and just kind of like stumble forward to the party. And you guys all of a sudden now hear Kami kind of like grunt, and just like you hear his heavy footsteps kind of behind you, and you turn and look, and he's just like kind of stumbling forward, and there's these vines and stuff that seem to kind of like recede back into the ground a little bit.
Immediately stands up very straight as if nothing happened, and then just like he's like facing the party, and he just turns and looks back at the vines, and he's just like,
Ardol, you recognize as they start to recede what look to be an assassin vine, which can at times animate surrounding vines to help constrict its prey.
Oh, you were lucky there. The plants really don't like you. The assassin vine just tried to assassinate you, but you seem to have... I mean, I didn't see anything. What did I see? Not an assassin vine.
I think this jungle is overdue for a really good blight. You know, the one that just sweeps through the entire jungle, turns it into a black cesspool? That sounds really nice about now.
Kami doesn't like vegetables. Or plants of any kind.
That's true.
It does seem a little extreme.
Does
Just
seem
for
to
a
be
bruised
the
ego.
spiritual.
I will say, I did roll on a random table, and that was what came up.
More marketable?
Not this one, but I have also that one up. Don't worry. But I did roll to see what you guys would encounter again, and that one was another
That's
one. I was
funny.
like, I could roll to see who in the party it affects, but it's gonna be Kami.
Tommy. It's only right.
Love that.
Anyway. Yeah. So, and who did the rolls for today for keeping watch? I think I skipped over that.
Thank you.
Z, did you roll your perception check for today?
No one did. That's why Kami went into the vines.
Yeah.
Did who roll what?
Did you roll
I
a
can
perception?
roll
I know
if
I
no one else
said
does.
out for it at the beginning, and then I don't remember if I got the
No,
numbers
but I
for it.
went to grab a beer, so I'll roll it now. Not great. I rolled a 3 on the dice, so perception would be 12.
Nice.
Okay.
Mhm. Could be worse.
Yeah.
You guys are traveling again, another kind of long, grueling travel. The jungle is getting old, if we're honest. Between the plants attacking you and the animals attacking you and the insects attacking you, and just it seems the air itself attacking you at times. You are distracted and annoyed and kind of starting to snap at each other from time to time a little bit, just as you do when you're just in just a crappy situation. Ardol, you're fine. You're having a great time. You're thoroughly enjoying it. And Ziggy, you're doing pretty well as well. Though it's new to you, so it's not quite as hunky dory as Ardol is. But yeah, you guys are traveling for the day, and just kind of annoyed and trudging through. You probably just missed it, but you hear a voice kind of call out to you all as kind of towards the end of the day a little bit. And you hear, "Hail, travelers!" And you kind of look in the jungle a bit, and you see kind of amidst the green and the lushness, you see kind of a stark white, and you realize that it's the face of what seems to be a smaller humanoid that is kind of emerging from the undergrowth in your direction.
Hello.
Am I hallucinating, or is that an actual living, breathing humanoid and not a fucking tree?
No, it's a person.
I see it too.
Doc, who's that?
Friend or foe?
Hey, Linda, well met, who goes?
Says you hear a female voice, but still kind of low, and they say, "Scythe of the Mistcliff dwarves."
Oh, yes. Ardol here from the Archaeological Society. Here looking for shelter.
Ah, well, and again, now Scythe, kind of you see them emerge from kind of the undergrowth, and you see a very very pale dwarf, and she is flanked on either side by two others, who seem to just kind of be keeping watch around her more so than concerned with you all. And she speaks to you, Ardol. She says, returning from a dig or looking for one in the mountains?"
Returning from a ruin out in the jungle, a bit earlier than expected. Found some stragglers out lost in the woods. They're a bit lost and are trying to get home. I suggested we come here as it was the closest civilization to our current whereabouts at the time.
Well, we've got a camp set up at the base of the mountain. You're welcome to come stay with us for a bit. Once you get out of the tree line, it's a little bit less dangerous, at least.
Ami rushes forward and just shakes her hand and says, "Thank you, get me out of these trees. I will do anything, get me out of these trees."
She kind of shakes her head and nods, kind of understanding, and says, "Yes, I'm with you on that one, friend. It's a bad day when I'm forced to venture out into the jungle, outside the mines and the forges. No offense, Ardol. I know this is, I'm sure, what you like to do out here, but it's not for me."
Yeah, teach their own. Teach their own.
Well, who do I have the pleasure of inviting back to our camp, and where do you all hail from? Kind of
Well, you see, I don't know if you've heard of where we come from. It's pretty far away. But
haven't traveled much outside of these jungles and the mountains lately.
But I am Gvarkamidreth, first of his generation, at your service.
Good to meet you. That's a very unique name. I've not come across one with that before.
Well, I'm a very unique person.
You can say that again.
She kind of looks to you, Zaire, kind of just expectingly, like waiting for you to introduce yourself.
Zaire.
I'm
And
Ziggy.
Ziggy, Laurel, and then she looks to you, May.
Hi. I'm May. I'm May Thorian. From very far away from here. Too far away. Thank you for your help. Okay.
And that's our group. Thank you, May.
Yeah.
We're very appreciative of you taking us in. It's been quite a time.
Yes, well, we've been forced to kind of venture out into the jungle a bit, and it's good to find ones who are not trying to kill us. You're not trying to kill us, are you?
Lady, you take me out of these trees, I'll be your best friend.
Oh, do we look like we want to kill you? We don't even have the energy to stand up. I don't even know how to form words anymore. We're exhausted.
Well, that's understandable, traveling out here. Yes, well, if you care to follow me for a bit, we can hopefully escort you outside of the main canopy here of the jungle and head to the mountains. I'm a bit more comfortable.
Lead the way.
And so it's a bit more travel as you head back towards, and you can see the mountains now, almost through the trees a bit, rising above the canopy as you kind of head in further. And yeah, after a few more, I'd say another probably hour or two of travel, following Scythie and her two companions. Yeah, you find your way to what looks to be a pretty well fortified kind of camp. There's a stone wall that looks hastily erected, but sturdy and well built still. That seems to kind of form a half circle with the back of it kind of butting up against not so much a cliff, but a very significant rock wall, like a stone at the foot of the mountains that kind of stretch up behind it. And you can see a campfire as you approach. And as you get a little bit closer, the smells of the jungle kind of give way a little bit, and you can smell what seems to be some kind of meat stewing over this campfire. The steam and the smells kind of waft in your direction as you approach. And it is a welcome sight and welcome sense as you kind of enter into the camp, into the firelight as it's gotten dark now, and you kind of feel kind of cozy, kind of warm. Not that you haven't been warm, but kind of sheltered from all that you've kind of been trekking through in the jungle as you kind of enter into the stone wall that's been built here.
Who smells food?
This feels so nice. Ardol,
Yes.
I can't thank you enough for getting us here safely.
Oh, it was no trouble at all. No trouble. Actually, it was relatively
I mean-
how the jungle normally goes. Almost a breeze.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a little bit of trouble, but I guess it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, there's always going to be a little bit of trouble, you know.
It's a little bit of murder.
As a treat.
A little killing.
Well, you can consider yourself really part of the group now. Come and join us.
Oh, well, by all means. Thank you.
And so as you all kind of, as you enter in, and Sithy, immediately as you kind of come in, you see Sithy branch off and go start talking to a few others, all of whom here are of the similar kind of very pale complexion, dwarven, and just kind of milling about here. And after a few moments kind of speaking, she comes back to you and says, well, we've got, as you could probably tell, we've got dinner here. If you'd all care for some, we'd be happy to share what we have with you all, and perhaps sit and speak with you for a bit.
That sounds incredible.
Well, and she kind of goes and pulls out a couple of stone bowls from, it seems to be one of the tents there, and starts ladling this kind of thick brown stew out of the pot that's been simmering over the fire. Kind of passes one around to each of you. And as you kind of hold it in your hand, the smell, it's this kind of salty, brothy, very hearty scent as you kind of hold it. And if any of you choose to eat it, it's just this very well-made, refreshing is not the right word, reinvigorating kind of hearty stew that after the days and travel that you've had, it kind of gives you almost like a second wind. It gives you a little bit of energy just to have this,
Fortifying.
That's the word. Correct. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. And you kind of sit for a few moments, and Sithy kind of allows you to collect yourselves and eat and things.
This is the best food I think I've ever eaten in my entire life. So, well done.
I'm glad to hear it. We take a bit of pride in what we make here when it comes to food. Though our ingredients are a little bit different here out here in the jungle, but there's still plenty to be had. So, best to boil the water though before you make a stew with it. Hate to get throat leeches. That would be ugh. Not again.
Ugh, throat leeches are the worst.
Yes, yeah. To get rid of them too, it's such a process. So
This place.
Why do you live here?
Well, we don't typically. We've, as I said, and that was one of the things I was hoping to speak with you all about. But I just wanted to talk to you all about, like, what is it that you're doing out in the jungle? Are you looking for something? Are you?
You could say that.
City. What do you know of venturing between this plane and others?
Nothing.
Well, suffice it to
I've heard it's
say,
been done. I've heard there's a plane or two that people travel between. I think stories mostly.
Well, the stories are real. I'll tell you that much, City. You're looking at multiple stories right here in the flesh.
You're trying to travel between planes.
well,
Right.
Yes.
I kind of pissed off a god, and they sent us here.
Mm.
No. He's not a god yet,
not a
Ziggy. Don't
god
give him
yet.
credit.
I
Mm-mm.
pissed off
I'm
a
just a
really
big guy.
The clarification.
Cindy kind of like side eyes one of her dwarven companions for a moment. Says,
Insight check.
Which make an insight check.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's a 21.
21. She thinks you're batshit crazy. She's like, what the fuck? We invited these people into our camp, and she's like, do we need to run? Like, what? Are they gonna try and kill us?
Also, have you seen
Hmm.
anyone that looks like me before?
Yes, we.
You're a lizard folk, Ziggy.
I know, but like maybe I'm like are.
But yeah, no, on the material plane in Cecil Doom, there's not many, if any, of him. So that's a fair question. But no, she says, yes. No, there's certainly seen a few around. I can't say I make it to the more amphibious homes of some of the dwellers of the jungle, but I know that they exist out there somewhere.
Okay, but I'm like around. Things like me aren't weird.
No, I think you're perfectly pleasant.
Okay.
And,
I think you're pleasant
and look,
too.
And
look,
what about a god? You made a
I
god.
think we're getting
mad?
sidetracked.
Oh yeah, so he like
no, Ziggy. Well, okay.
okay, here. How about this?
Should we be concerned? I
association.
guess,
Word
is my main-
association.
No.
When I say
Well, yes, they should be concerned of the threat that Oberius poses to every
Yes.
plane.
what comes to mind when I say
But
Oberius?
of your imminent safety, you are fine in our presence. We will not
I think-
kill you.
Look,
Or kill it.
it's that. What my friends are saying is that we're not crazy. Okay, it may sound like we're crazy, but we're not. It may look like we're crazy, but we're not.
We're crazy.
May, you're
fine.
doing
We
a
just came out
really
of the
good job.
jungle.
This is not helping.
For 2 days. But let me tell you, we are trying to face down one of the greatest threats that your world and our world has ever seen.
All
And-
worlds.
Oh, yes, exactly, Ziggy. Thank you.
Can I just
And we're
start
just
by
trying
saying,
And right now we're trying to get home. Go.
can I just add, none of you are at risk. I know we're throwing a lot at you here. We're giving you a lot of information. You've never met us. You probably don't trust us. But I need to just tell you that right now we are not risking your lives. In general, the entire planes are at risk. So just know that what we're doing here right now does not directly affect you. But what happens next may. Did I do
Well
an okay
said.
job? I'm gonna look back at the group.
That was pretty good.
That was better
That
than
was
we were
well
doing.
said.
That was better than yeah. That was good. Oh,
Thanks.
Well, that's quite a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Certainly glad there's no immediate risk. That's a load off. When you hear about pissing off gods and the likes, you're never quite sure how to react. But it sounds like you all are trying to take on some sort of existential threat.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
And it sounds like that must come with some significant capabilities of your own if you're undertaking something of that magnitude.
Yes, we could kill you in an
Well-
instant if you wanted.
I told you I'm a unique
Oh,
person.
I watched them tear through some were-tigers. Yes, so they are quite capable.
Oh, you found the long tooth tribe out there, did you?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I
yes.
blew up their boat.
Rather, they found you, I suppose.
And they found
their
their imminent demise.
Oh, you killed all of
They
them.
ran
I
away.
barely know her.
no, well,
We're getting sidetracked.
This is a
we are
disaster.
getting judgment again.
No.
But we need help. We are not capable of defeating this
Maeve.
enemy that we all face alone. Is that here?
Maeve.
Yes. Go ahead.
May we ask
Mhm.
specifically what we need help with?
We need help with interplanar travel and getting back home.
We need to get home. There we go. We
We
need to get home.
Mm-hmm.
That we do.
So how do we travel between planes?
But
Does
Zaire,
anybody know?
home is wherever I'm with you.
I can't say I have the
Where are
answer
you?
for you. I don't have much experience with that sort of arcane attempt, I guess you could call it. I've never tried it. I don't know many who have.
Hmm.
Do you know anybody that, or any place that might be able to?
Or have you seen any portals around anywhere? Any crazy
We'll take a portal.
portals?
Mm-hmm.
No portals, I think. Though if anybody knows anything, I'm sure the port city must have somebody must know there.
Can you get us
happen to have
quickly to the port city?
Mm-hmm. Do you have a
Yeah.
teleportation circle or a
That's
ship?
It's an interesting point you bring up. This has gone sidetracked, but I'm glad we came around on this. This is a lot of information. I'm very glad that you've opened up to us. We do, in fact, have a way. However, my plan was to see if you all had capabilities that might be of use, because you see, we don't typically reside out here in the jungles. We actually find ourselves typically in the mountains, and we have a forge that we've mined a number of materials, and we forge them into weapons or usable tools and the likes. However, recently, our forge has been sort of taken over, infested, I suppose, by a variety of strange and dangerous creatures, all of sort of the fire variety. It seems the forge maybe drew them in. I'm not entirely sure.
Not undead.
No undead. No, they seem to stick to the jungle for the most part. But we've been unable to kind of recapture our forge and continue operations. But you mentioned a way to return to the city. It does exist. It just happens to be in the forge. But if you would help us clear it out and reclaim it, we'd be happy to let you use whatever you need to get back to Nyanzaru.
I will fuck up whatever you need me to. If you can get me home.
I don't know if I can get you home, but I will get you to the city.
That's what I meant.
Sir, yes, yeah. Do any of you have the ability to utilize something like a teleportation circle?
Yes.
Oh,
I can.
good.
At least I think I can.
We did have one, though we haven't seen them in a few days, so there's some concern.
Where did they?
It's a
wait,
bad sign
where
out here.
Did they go? Did they go into the jungle or the forge? Where did they go?
Out into the jungle at one point.
Was this
So-
a half elf?
We've been looking.
Was it a half elf?
No, I don't know any
Oh, right, you're dwarves. Of course.
Oh,
But yeah, no. So we've that's our own. We'll handle that one on our own. But yes, if you'd be so kind as to help us with this, then you'd perhaps fortuitously find your way back to the port city, and perhaps we could provide you with some material on your way as well. There's some probably still in the forge if they haven't destroyed it all.
That sounds very doable.
Seems like our best option.
Well,
I do have another question.
yes. Well,
Do you
that's
have
what-
any clerics or paladins of Calimbor amongst your group?
Kellenvor. No, unfortunately, most of our loyalties lie with Moradin, the Soul
Who is
Forger.
Morden?
Dwarf Father, he's been called. But familiar with Kellenvor, but I can't say. Who is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for help with something? Or?
I mean, we're lost, and looking for any forces that may align with higher powers that can help us out on our journey. The existential force that we blabbered on about seeks to disrupt the bounds that it seems like Kellenvor and others fight to protect. Looking for allies, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, none among us, though I hope you could consider us an ally still.
Yeah.
However, in that specific vein, again, most of civilization here on the peninsula lies at Port Nyanzaru, and so
I can ask there.
perhaps, yes, once there, somebody might be able to at least point you in the right direction.
A final question. This forge, it's underground, isn't it?
It is in the mountain, yes.
Like on the mountain?
No, it's very much underneath it, for sure. It's the magma that flows beneath the ground,
Yep.
and we use that to help us smith our tools and weapons. And
So no access to the sky or to open air or...
Are you going to be okay, Zaire?
Yes, I'm going to be perfectly fine.
I wouldn't think a cleric of the god of death would be afraid of the dark.
Yes, but
Aw.
it gets a little difficult to spread my wings when I'm cramped underneath the rock. I prefer, graveyards and other bogs and other places.
Right, just areas you can call down lightning.
Well, I guess I should assume that you'd be more comfortable in cramped spaces, considering you enjoyed the well so much in our fight against the dragon. So
Even on other planes, you can't let that go.
Flirting. Flirting.
Another question. How long have you been? When did you lose control of the forge? Like, how long has the enemy been in there?
That's. Have you ever? Did you ever? Would you ever? Have you ever?
It's one of the best videos ever. Have you ever when you
did you ever have a dream but you couldn't even do it?
Oh, thank you, Antibiotics, for your help with this.
the one that I think of is the new one of the baby going.
Gold.
Deep thinker.
Gold.
All right.
Oh god. Sorry.
What the heck did you ask? Oh, how long? How long has it been? Yes. She said it's been a few weeks now, probably.
Okay.
We were cut off from our typical...
Can't make me laugh this much.
Sorry.
It's bad for my lungs.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We were cut off from our typical communication methods and source of aid from the port city, and so it's been a few weeks of us trying to send people out to get help, and you all were the first capable-looking bunch that has come our way. So I figured maybe we could ask you to step in for us.
There wouldn't happen to be access to the fire plane down in the forge, would there?
Access to the fire plane? Not that I know of. But I've never looked quite that hard. What might that look like?
I don't know. fire elementals coming from where there shouldn't be fire elementals?
Well, it certainly sounds like what's happening,
Cool.
though they're not all elementals.
Ardol,
Access to planar travel.
Well, I don't want to go. I'm more worried about Oberius is doing this to.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's trying to get his
And
foot in the door.
and Ardol, you had mentioned some sort of dark magic, right?
Hmm?
You were aware of some dark magic? Cynthia, are you seeing? Go ahead.
Dark magic? Sorry, remind me?
Oh, he said no.
About dark-
He had said that they were looking into sources of potential dark magic or things that might
Yes,
be
my society has been looking into it.
Oh, you're a society.
They've been sending more of us out into the jungle to search more ruins and places that haven't been searched, see if there's someone or something related to some kind of dark magic or something.
Arnold just likes old stuff.
Causing this. Yes, I do. I'm old stuff.
Yeah, you are.
Aww.
So at this point, Slippy kind of seems to be like watching the conversation, waiting for like confirmation that you all were going to help.
Where is the
Okay, let's.
entrance to this forge? You say in the mountains, but where specifically?
Yeah, no, we'd be happy to show you. Perhaps a night's rest would do you well to prepare, and then we'd be happy to escort you to the entrance.
That sounds nice, yes.
Would be nice.
Well, you are welcome here in camp. If there's anything else that you require, let me know. I could also speak with our quartermaster and see what we've got available, and we can reconvene in the morning.
And for your hospitality, please let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
Agreeing to help us
Enough with the forge.
clean out the forge is all we can request.
Great.
I would love to do that forge you.
May the forge be with you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I will leave you all to your evening, or what's left of the evening, and I'll look for you in the morning.
Can I see the sky now?
Yeah, you can definitely have a much clearer view here as the jungle kind of gives way to kind of the foothills of the mountain.
All right, let's try this again. I'm going to try and focus on finding the source of this oppressive vibe.
Okay. Yeah, make a vibe check.
Where are the bad vibes?
Much
Right on the
better.
line.
Cast them out.
18 plus... where'd it go? 18 plus 9 is 27.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of sit here on the edge of the jungle, you still feel that kind of heavy presence, heavy weight, so to speak. But now there's kind of there's a directionality to it, and it seems to almost be pulling you back into the jungle. So you kind of seem to be kind of on the outskirts of it here. There seems to be kind of a directionality that's kind of in towards where you came from a bit.
Interesting. Thank you. That's it. I go to bed.
You all see kind of You just kind of see Ziggy chilling for a bit, and then he just doesn't say anything. He just gets up, goes to bed.
I'm gonna get some water spells.
Kami's gonna make his way over to Maeve, wherever she's sort of setting up for the night. And he's gonna make sure he looks around and there's no one really within earshot. It's just like him and Maeve.
Make a perception check.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Beautiful.
I bet we're being watched because they think we're crazy.
I would too.
That's a
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, totally alone. Nobody around.
Awesome. Solid.
Hi.
Maeve. So we've been here for a few days now.
Too long.
It's truly been one of the worst experiences of my life. Not pertinent to what I'm about to tell you, but you know, it is. It's just putting it out there.
It's been rough.
I can't help but get nervous. Before I left, I'm sorry for not telling you this earlier. I should have looped you in to what I was thinking. I tipped off Tovaro about some of what we've been learning about what is happening. Nothing of the nature of you or Oberius or Cassius or any of that. It is not my story to tell. But some of the other leanings that is happening on Sordum, you know, the role of the Tovaro is to keep the peace, and if there is dissonance appearing on the horizon, they should be the first to know. And I'm getting nervous now with every minute that passes here. If something is happening, I'm sorry. This is a long way of asking if you have any capabilities or spells or anything that can. I'm wondering if you can check in on my sister.
Your sister? The one who...
Yes, Allie. Yes.
Is that who you first messaged? Okay, I mean, if you're ready to reach out to her...
Oh, no. No, I don't want to talk to Allie. I don't want you to talk to Allie. Do you have a spell or... I don't know. I mean, is there a way we can... Can you see what she's up to? Can you...
Oh, I was gonna say I have my sending spell where I'd be able to maybe disguise my voice, and then she, you know... No, but I don't have any other way right now to scry on someone or see what they're up to.
That's okay. Well, you know, since I am no longer there, she is Tree Warden of House Kvad. It would be her responsibility to bolster the house and mobilize it if such a situation were arising out on the plains. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for even worrying about it. It's all obviously it's far outside of my hands now. But I can't help but still worry about them.
Yeah, and they will have an important role to play, right? And whatever Galita decides to do, or Lepidium, there's all of these cities who are going to be taking sides either with or against Oberius. And so I know that Tovaro are not supposed to take sides, but they're going to have an important role in keeping the peace.
That is what worries me. You know from what I've told you that Allie is very She has much conviction, perhaps too much. I worry what her inexperience may rot on the plains.
Hmm. What was the last thing you heard from the Tavoro, and did you contact a member of your family then?
I sent an anonymous message to my mother. But
Okay.
it was nothing beyond just the one.
Hmm. Well, I think we should find a way to spy on what your sister is doing.
Lord knows what she has done so far.
You know, there is someone who might know who I could contact. Cassian.
Hmm.
With his
True, he's been
role of
keeping his
opinion.
finger on the pulse. Yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I don't have to ask him or, tell him why I'm asking. I don't have to say he knows you. By the way, he knows that you're with me, but I can just nonchalantly see if he has any information about the Tavoro.
Well, I know you're tired. It's been a long day. Don't push yourself. Whenever you get the chance.
Okay. I'm out of stealth slots right now, but
I see. Okay. No, that's okay.
I'm so tired, yeah, but maybe tomorrow.
And I just want to say, Maeve, stuff has been happening so fast, and we've been on the move and haven't really had time to sit and process. But I just want you to know I'm so happy for you that we were able to find Cassius.
It was such a surprise. Me too. He was in Oberius's clutches for months and managed to escape because he fooled Oberius. Right? And so that means that Oberius is not, as foolproof as he thinks he is. His ego is going to get in the way, and Kami, that gives me hope that, and I look around at all of us, that even we can find a way to fool him.
Tommy sees you do that, and sort of like his eyes go wide, and he like turns and looks over his shoulder.
We're all just like, hi.
Everybody's just kind of going about their business.
I didn't notice them back there.
It's okay.
Well,
That's why it's always good to have someone watching your back.
no, I always have yours.
So cute.
And I get Loon out, and I'm like, Kami, it's been a really hard day.
For me or for Loon?
And then for both of you, look, he loves you. Loon loves you. He needs a little extra attention right now.
Loon, I have come face to face with way too many poisonous things on this day.
And I just let him come up and just give.
I'll tell you what, Loon. When we make our way back home, I will give you the biggest celebratory hug that you've ever known.
What does he do?
Just kind of looks to you. What do you want?
I just nodded him and I put him away.
Slugging a cup holder.
And I turn back to Kami and I'm like, I'm really glad that you have my back too, but we have to get home. I know you know this, but we have to get home soon. Every day, every minute we waste here is more time for Oberius to do whatever he wants since he sent us here. So let's clean out this forge as fast as we can.
No, you're right, and obviously the severity is extreme, but it is kind of nice to hear you call Cesar Doom home.
And also, Kami, you got a thing going on for Zaire? I don't know, like elbow you on the side.
No.
I mean, it's been a long time for you. You know, I know you have, you know, your love, but
Well,
there could be something there.
he's nothing like Sumatran.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting late. Maybe we should probably head to bed.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Will's gonna have to fight Tommy to the death.
Ah, young love.
Not love!
I need to Google, what does bird penis look like?
No! No!
No, we're not. No,
Like
no.
a duck?
Ew.
It's like a corkscrew?
First
No,
off,
oh my God, stop.
Ziggy,
Stop.
if you want to know,
No.
just ask. Second off, I'm not a bird. I'm an Aarakocra.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
And
cock.
cock's in the name.
Oh.
Yep.
Uh,
When you search
All
bird
right.
penis, you just get duck
Pidge.
corkscrews. So
okay.
Great, now we know. Moving on.
Moving on.
Your recommended ads are going to be real weird, Michael.
duck penis seems like it'd be some weird French delicacy.
Duck's penis
Maybe.
and Vanderpump Rules. There's got to be a crossover
What
somewhere.
a fucking night.
Anywho.
All right.
Vander pump you full of bird
Stop.
penis.
Stop right now.
No,
Stop right now. Stop right now.
No.
Alright. So you all wake up the next day.
I just look sorry. The exhausted the DM. All right. Like I just
Just head in hand.
Well, directly to the forehead.
Should have had a V8.
Okay. You guys wake up the next morning.
Thank you.
Scythia and many of the dwarves are already kind of up. Scythia comes and offers a decent platter of kind of some what look to be like cured meats and things that she leaves for you all for breakfast. And as she puts it down, she says, best to gather your strength and eat while you can. The trek to Rockhamar is its own challenge, and then you've got what waits for you inside.
How far is this place?
What?
It's a few hours travel
Oh,
from here, but it's up the
Nothing.
mountain. It's a difficult trek, and then, like I said, there's obviously what awaits you inside. So please
But
eat.
can we
And
fly up the mountain?
I'm sure you could, friend.
Okay, so maybe okay.
Yeah. But you'd have to wait for us. We'd have to show you the entrance to it.
Right, but you're saying it's a difficult trek. I'm assuming because it's deep and arduous. But
Yes, I'm sure
not if you're in the air.
Yes. No, I'm sure you'll be
Okay.
fine. And again, you're all very capable. I'm sure it would be, no challenge. But still, the point of this was just to say, please do eat and gather yourself for the day. And I do have a bit of a map for what it looked like when we were there. I can't speak to what may have happened since we've left, but I can show you the map that we have of the forge, and hopefully can help you prepare yourselves for it. So
yes, much appreciated.
the primary area, you can see it in sort of the northwest corner. It's the smelter. That's the main part of the forge, as well as there's some areas of where we reside and cook and live, sort of east of that. So
Ooh. Looks warm.
oh, it certainly is. I can promise you that.
Oh boy.
I do ask if there's
I'm gonna-
anything left of the materials in the treasury that's in the northeast corner. Try to leave what you can. We'd be happy to share some with you upon finishing, but we'd like to try and preserve what's left for us to restart the operations at the forge.
Just staring at Whirl.
Yeah, Zaire looks at Whirl too, just like
What?
What?
But
To
please
me, baby.
collect
Hey,
yourselves, and if you have any questions about what it looks like in there, please just let me know, and we'll do our best to.
is it illuminated?
It's when we were there, it was fairly bright, bright enough to see. Again, the magma itself provides a fair bit of light. Not to mention the smelters and things if they still have anything running.
Mm.
Maeve
I
is
must
gonna look
warn you
around.
though, do try and refrain. The southwest corner, some of the minecart tracks do descend further. I would advise you to refrain going further. It seems there's even more dangers that lie slumbering at the heart of the mountain. And we've done our best to refrain from disturbing anything at
Like a Balrog.
further in.
Maeve is gonna look around and try and find Ardol. Is he with us?
He's very slowly kind of getting out of bed and just like neatly
Okay.
folding his things.
Be like,
Sitting on the cot, it's the last thing left, just sipping a tea.
I'm gonna walk over and I say, Ardol, are you up for another adventure with us? And I'm gonna give you like a very genuine smile because I've grown comfortable with you.
Well, the way I see it, you'll still need my help once you get to the port city. You can't just walk into the front door of the archaeology. Oh God, my tea hasn't kicked in yet. You haven't walked into my society.
It's okay.
You know, can we see your upper management? No, you're going to need me still. And well, I don't think I could in good conscience after helping you all for the past week or so. Just sit here while you go fight your way through a forge to get us back to where we're going. So, yeah, might as well tag along. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Fully. Excellent. Yes.
I don't know what we'd do without you, honestly. How have you survived so far?
A lot of abjuration magic, and the shell helps.
Good answer.
Yeah, let's make more of that tea right before we leave. I think that could be good for all of us.
Yes. Yes. Get you energized up. Although you just rested, so you shouldn't have any wounds, but it also would heal you up. I do have a little bit left, and I'm sure the quartermaster here has plenty. But yes, some little mango leaf tea always. It's my day going. Yes.
Okay. Cheers.
After a while, you see Cynthia return, and she says, "Are you all prepared?"
We are ready.
Well,
Ready as we'll ever be.
our party's ready to follow along, and we're also prepared to stand guard as best we can outside of the entrance, so that hopefully nothing surprises you from out here. And also, nothing gets out, if that's a concern. We'll do our best to hold the fort
Except
down
us,
out here
right?
outside, and we appreciate your help again. We'll depart in a moment.
Great, we'll be here.
And you see a few other of the pale dwarves seem to be grabbing some large hammers. One of them has an axe, and donning what little bit of armor they kind of have among them. Not a ton. They're not necessarily fighters, really, from the looks of it. But they do have some means of defending themselves, and it seems like some of that is coming with you guys. And so they come collect you, and if you all are ready, they'll lead you kind of up into the hills and into the mountain.
Let's do this.
All right.
Make it fast.
So the on the map that I gave you, the entrance, it's kind of central there on the southern face, and you'll find a number of tracks and things that should lead you across the magma rift there in the center.
Do you have it up on Roll20?
I don't at the moment.
Okay.
But I can. We'll get there. Yeah, so a few hours of travel. They lead you kind of up into the mountains. You notice one of them casts Pass Without a Trace as you guys are up on the mountains. And kind of just gives you all a little bit of a stealthier means of traveling.
A spell slot.
And yeah, so after a few hours, you find yourselves at what looks to be kind of a very clearly chiseled kind of entrance that goes into the mountain. And there's a bit of kind of a doorway that appears in front of you. And it kind of goes down and curves around, kind of descending into the mountain a bit. And so Sithy kind of nods to you all and says, "This is the entrance to Rakamar, and if you follow the path, you'll find your way to that point on the map that I mentioned. And just be careful, and we'll be out here whenever you're done."
Well, I'm ready to get this over with. Let's just get in there.
Yeah, the faster we get in there and clear it out, the faster we can leave.
Exactly.
No thoughts, just that.
Everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. We've look at everything we've done to get here. You know, we've been through worse. There aren't gonna be any plants down there, Kami, on the positive side.
No rats.
No rats.
Lots
No
of
rats,
stuff
no
that
plants.
went
Might
into
be
it
some
that-
rats.
What's it?
Lots of stuff that you could fall into, though, I bet.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, all right.
Heard there's no water. You don't have to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. Just vibes. Just vibes.
Just a lot of fire.
That's right,
Mhm.
just
Only
vibes. No fire, just vibes.
Just vibes.
So, dwarf people, friends, what's the best way into this place? I mean, do we just walk right in? Is there anything to be mindful of? Are there traps, or how far in should we start, expecting these fire creatures to come attack us?
Well, there's no traps that we ever laid, at least. I can't speak to if they've perhaps done anything of the sort, though I honestly, I can't imagine they would. I would be careful around the rift, the magma rift, which you can see kind of cuts through the middle of it all. If these are fire-based beings, I'm sure you're going to have disadvantage there. But other than that, it seems like the main bit that I would imagine would be by the smelter and the forge in the center, as well as some of the living areas and the likes around it.
Question. Do you know,
Yes.
like, what these things are? Or that just, like, fire things?
Well, you mentioned elementals. That was certainly a part of it. Mostly, I believe. Are you familiar with salamanders?
Yeah, the cute little lizard boys.
No, not those. They are a type of elemental. Mostly them. They seem to be kind of the workers of the group. They seem to be the
Picture
front
what you
line.
just described, but bigger, much
Yes.
bigger, and like spears and angry.
Oh.
A lot of angry,
Still cute,
it
though?
seems.
No.
No.
Like,
honey, no.
a salamander is cute, but if you think a salamander is cute when it's actively trying to kill you, then I guess, but also, like, what's wrong with you?
So it seemed to be mostly them, though as we were fleeing, I won't lie, there did sound as if there was something bigger that was there, though we never saw it.
See,
and it never...
this is why I ask these questions, my guy. You didn't
that's
say that
a good
before.
question. Yes. Certainly, I hope I didn't undersell the danger. It's certainly, you should be careful and take all caution when in there. And again, please be careful as well about going further below the forge. I think at that point, you're going to find, I talk about something bigger, we'd hate to disturb whatever may be down there, so.
All right, so DM, just for my awareness, so I'm looking at the map.
Mm-hmm.
We are essentially entering in that little pathway that's like lit up down at the bottom. Okay, and then we come up, and then those tracks in the southwest corner, those are what you warned us about, leads to darker, scarier things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you've got the like 3 little magma...
Is the smelter.
That's the smelter and the forge.
Mm-hmm.
And to the right of that, you see the stores and what seems to be like kind of like living quarters a bit over there.
And then the treasury is way over in the top right corner.
Top right corner, correct. Yep.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not much of a map guy, but it seems pretty clear to me. It's just a straight shot. Just follow the tracks right to the forge.
It will certainly take you where you need to go. The tracks are laid out in that way intentionally, so.
Then I say let's go.
Onward and inward.
And let's try to be as stealthy as we can.
I say we go in guns blasting.
So anyways, I started blasting. Yes, I guess we should be smart about this. We can try to be a little stealthy.
Well, I mean, if this is the map, we don't. It'd be actually kind of nice if we like pulled them away from the fire magma stuff, so actually going in, being loud, draw them away from their advantage.
Yes, actually, you bring up a very good point. I prepared a lot of spells this morning that will help with fire elementals and fire specifically, and there's one that'll take me a bit of minute to cast, but I can create a magic circle that if we're all inside it, elementals will have disadvantage attacking us. I can cast other magic on us to then make it so that it's less effective if they do hit us, even after all that. But it does take a minute to cast and stays in one spot. So if we picked a location to cast that and then draw their attention to that spot, we would have an advantage on them.
May have kept in that circle.
This is why we kept you around, my dear friend.
No, we kept him around because his vibes are immaculate.
That too.
Also,
that too.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. But that sounds fantastic, Ardol. I think I'm going to stand next to you to make sure I'm in the circle.
Excellent. Where do we want this cast? How we can try to go closer? I can do it right here. How far do you think we can pull them away from the forge, if at all?
Oh, maybe we can. Maybe you get in there and do a little scouting for us. See where they're situated.
Okay.
All right.
I was very nervous.
We never hear from May again.
Okay. Make a stealth roll for me, and then add 10 to it.
Oh, shit. 7 plus 13 plus 10 is 30. Pew, pew.
More like pew pew.
Yeah, that's
all right. So you kind of collect yourself for a minute and then start kind of heading down the path that kind of the only one in front of you into the mountain. With your kind of wings you're able to kind of make your steps incredibly light on the stone floor, and you work your way into kind of where you remember the map kind of showing.
Mhm.
And so you find your way into kind of the main entrance, and you see these tracks running in front of you. And I'm gonna leave it from there. What you wanna do, what you wanna look for.
Let's go, world.
Oh God.
You got this.
They're the tracks on the bottom left, right?
Tracks run from the bottom left, coming from your left, and then straight ahead.
Straight ahead. Oh boy. And I'm by myself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd just like to explore what's going on in here. I mean, anything traps or threat or anything like that.
You're looking for traps, you said?
Yeah. Anything that we might get into.
Okay. Just like in this main entrance that you just are in right now?
Yeah.
For now? Okay. Yeah, make a perception check for me.
18.
18.
It's good.
Right. So you kind of scan the immediate area when you finally get down here. And first thing to note is the heat, as soon as you kind of get further down here, it kind of starts coming up through the tunnel that you were coming down. And you can start to kind of feel that moving air as the heat gets intense. And now you can see the light, the orange kind of hue on everything that's down here. And the heat is intense. And you can kind of see the bubbling, boiling magma occasionally kind of like popping up above the stone kind of walkway that you're on now. And you kind of look around for a minute in the immediate area, and there doesn't seem to be any traps or hazards, kind of, especially right here. The tracks seem to be in mostly working order. As you look to kind of the right, you can see there, even on the map, those tracks seem to be broken. And out in that direction, there's kind of a thick smoke that seems to kind of be settled in those kind of caverns to the right. And you can hear noises coming from there, but doesn't seem to be much that you can see. It's very smoky and hazy. And then straight ahead of you, it looks like, again, sort of a bridge that goes over that magma rift in the middle. And beyond that, you can't see or hear too much. You can kind of see across it, and it doesn't seem like there's anybody out on the tracks at the moment.
Does it look like we can walk across?
Oh, yeah, you can definitely walk across those tracks. Yep. They seem still to be kind of operational. Like you could get a cart across there if you wanted to.
Am I going through this entire thing alone?
It is entirely up to you how far you want to go.
Up to you, boo boo.
I'm scared. Let's keep going. I kind of want to explore across the magma to see if there's any way for the rest of the group to get past, since we need to get to that little middle section.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you kind of go across the magma rift.
Yeah.
As you kind of head that way, you can see as you kind of cross over, you kind of look to your left and right, and you look to the left, and it looks like there's some sort of like chain mechanism that is used to carry what look like to be like buckets across that area over there. It seems to be sitting idle at the moment. Doesn't seem to be anybody over there. And then you kind of keep going forward and get back into kind of the tunnel where the tracks lead. You kind of follow the tunnel a bit as best you can, keep it in the shadows. And you don't see anybody in the tunnel either. It seems you can hear, though, now as you get closer, you can hear what seem to be movement, the sounds of kind of tools, perhaps even the sound of the forge itself, from what you can tell, seems to be operating. But but can't see anything yet unless you want to go further in.
I want to go a little bit further in, just to the point before I make my way into like the forge area. I just want to see if it's something that we could get into directly from this path.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're gonna kind of like peer around the that like corner there, like looking into the smelter. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of give a small peek, keeping again to the shadows, keeping hidden. And as you look in there, you see sounds like the hammering and stuff seems to be coming from in there, and you see a number of what they probably described earlier, what you imagine were probably the salamanders that they mentioned, carrying various tools and things, and they seem to be taking things from the stores to the right, bringing them out, and seem to be kind of feeding the smelter, keeping the fire going, and keeping the magma kind of flowing into this area.
Okay. I think that's as far as I want to go by myself. So
Okay.
probably call back to the group, head back in that direction, and let them know that we've got a way in. It's just very uncomfortable, and there's definitely, they're moving about. Sounds like, they're gonna find it as we go past that point.
And where on the map were you? Did you go? You didn't go. You just went just across the tracks.
She got up to the entrance to like the smelter, where the tracks kind of meet.
Okay. So
And she looked around the corner there, and it was open. It looks like that's just a wide opening that they take the mine carts in and out of.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think that might be a good spot to like draw them in, because it's isolated from the fire.
I would agree. And then I'll communicate back. There's some sort of mechanism for like a chain and a bucket of some sort for passing things across the magma. So if we need to utilize that at all, that's definitely an option. I don't know. Maybe we can get crafty with them in that little area and then do something there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that actively using the forge?
It seems so. I don't know if it's for what we think it's for, but I mean, they're moving around in there. There is definitely something being done.
I mean,
Let's get
I
going.
imagine any sense of stealth is just going to delay the inevitable, which is us wiping the forge clean with them. So
Yeah, but at least like stealthing to the point where we want to.
of course.
But
Engage.
then we can just have angry, white-haired man yell real loud.
Who's angry white-haired man?
Don't you have white hair?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, my mustache as well. Oh, Tommy. I'm also not doing it.
I don't know if yelling is
At least
going to
we're
be
taking
enough.
Well, we can figure it out once we get there.
You know me, Ziggy. You tell me when to yell and when to hit something, and I will yell and hit something.
I got something
That's a
for
good
you
plan.
before you start yelling and hitting things.
Like what?
I want it to be a surprise.
Okay. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Zaire, before you go in there, I will say it is extremely hot and extremely small. I think maybe it might be good to douse your feathers in some water or something ahead of time. I don't know. I just worry that you might ignite.
If it's as hot as you say, then we'll turn to steam and it will actively hurt me. So no, I don't like that plan. I will go in there. I will murder every single thing inside of there, and then I will leave. That's what we're going to do.
Wow.
I have to say, now those are some immaculate vibes. Okay.
That's hot.
Like where we're gonna be in a second. Ha 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 ha.
Well, we have our chosen terrain, our battleground, and we know what we have to do. We're gonna murder everything in this forge.
I'm
And
so
not touch the
excited.
treasure.
Maeve's
Not
finally
touch the
learning.
treasure.
Not
Mhm,
touch the
mhm. And we're not
treasure.
gonna touch the treasure.
And
we're not gonna go to the southwest corridor.
And I'm not gonna kill everyone. Let's go.
But we are going to kill everyone.
Who's
We're
casting
going to kill
Shatter?
everyone.
That's my question. Who's taking Shatter?
Nobody.
No shatter. No shatter.
Only right
Do we
now.
have, do we have an assigned
Very,
No
Shatter?
Shatter at all?
very specifically not prepared.
Is Brendan aware of the Shatter story? Have we told you that story?
We can take a pause to tell the shadow.
Oh,
I don't think I have the context, no.
I don't think any of our viewers.
I'll tell the
I don't think any of our
shatter. I'll
viewers
tell
are
the
aware.
shatter story.
Oh,
Might be able to tell the Shatter story. Go ahead. Mike. Tell the
Yeah.
Shatter story.
yeah.
what-
Campaign 1.
What led up to it is not important, but we are well underground, and in a cavern, and just thought it would be a great idea to cast.
No, this. Wait.
Yeah,
What
there's a lot more to this.
What were we running from?
Oh, we were running from a purple worm.
A purple worm, which, for our wonderful viewers, it senses vibrations
Yeah.
in the rock, tremor sense.
Mm-hmm.
We had gone so far as to cast silence on the pocket of the cavern that we were in, so that literally the vibrations from the noises from the steps we took, and any words and breaths we might take, like we were that much like no sound to alert this thing where we are. Eric, the DM, was being a very good DM and alerting us many times that we would not stand a motherfucking chance against this purple worm. Continue, Michael.
So we're being assaulted on either side of a cavern, and we have a silence bubble, and there are guys on one side, guys on the other side. Most of us are facing one way, and Jess just decides the other way to just cast Shatter
Outside
And, like,
of the silence
outside of
bubble.
the silence bubble, and like start to cave in that side of the pathway.
Which was she the one that put silence up? So
No,
did we
I
No,
did.
drop
I
No,
put that
that
up
was
so
me.
that
No,
we
that was
didn't kill
Zach.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And then Jess was like, nah.
And then you
So
all
I
just like
took a little like
jump
rock and
into
roll.
the silence bubble and huddle down as wherever you cast Shatter, this purple worm just tears through this section of the cave.
Yeah. And we were fine. It was amazing. It
And matter of-
totally
Because Michael had the foresight.
worked out.
Because I know how Jess
Yeah.
I know how Jess
It was a wonderful close encounter with nature.
That's
It's
it.
almost.
Something like that.
The silence
And it was
bubble was
almost-
one of the more genius things from that campaign, in my opinion, because you guys would have been big dead.
And it was pretty much almost replicated with the fireball
Yeah.
cast on this campaign on our
Right.
innocent
Yeah.
little
And
friends.
if they weren't already dead,
That
you would have
Yeah.
killed them.
we were dead. Right, exactly. But like there's no guilt
They were
involved.
only-
We were already
It's a
dead.
Schrodinger's cat. It's a Schrodinger's cat.
No guilt over already killed people.
They were only partly dead.
Exactly.
All right, so
No.
Yeah, you know.
that's
Who
the
knows
purple
what's gonna
worm
happen
story.
underground
No
now?
shatter. No shatter.
I also think
I don't even have it. So sad.
for tonight, I know a lot of us were kind of tired and had long days. We're going to keep it a shorter session, and we're going to get into the big dungeon crawl here as you clear out this thing. So I'm going to say we'll pick up with the dungeon crawl next time. And we
Dragon
will...
Ball Z.
Yes,
Dragon
so we will
Ball.
call it for this evening, and it seems like a decent stopping point for tonight. And remember your plan, and remember what you were going to be doing.
At dawn, we play.
Cast Shatter. Yes, got it.
And
Great.
we'll see what fun things have bubbled up from the molten core of Cholt for you all to face next time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
are they
wait.
using the forge for? What are they forging other than friendship?
Are they forging friendship down
Strong
there?
bonds.
Alright.
There it is.
Goodbye, viewers.
Yay! Thanks for watching.
We stop the stream.
Yay!
Goodbye, viewers.
Yay.
Bye, everybody.
Thank y'all.